Most people do not realize this, but there is a habit quietly shaping their entire life. A habit that looks harmless, even polite. That habit is constantly explaining yourself. Explaining your choices, explaining your silence, explaining your emotions, explaining who you are. You tell yourself you are being respectful, that you are avoiding conflict, that you do not want to be misunderstood. But beneath that habit, something deeper is happening. When you constantly explain yourself, you are not communicating. You are asking for permission. Permission to exist. Permission to feel. Permission to decide. And most people do not even notice they are doing it. This pattern does not begin in adulthood. It begins much earlier, in places where emotions were questioned, where silence was seen as attitude, where discomfort was dismissed, where being understood felt conditional. So the nervous system learned one rule. If I explain enough, I will be safe. If I explain enough, I will not be rejected. If I explain enough, I will not be abandoned. That belief follows you into adulthood. You look at other people's reactions before trusting yourself. You feel guilty for setting boundaries. You panic when someone misunderstands you. You feel uncomfortable simply being quiet. So you explain, even when no one asked. Psychology shows something uncomfortable. People who over-explain are often very self-aware, but deeply disconnected from their inner authority. They do not trust their decisions to stand on their own. They feel responsible for how others feel, responsible for how others interpret them, responsible for keeping emotional peace at their own expense. Slowly, without realizing it, self-respect begins to fade. Because every explanation carries a hidden message. I need you to approve this. I need you to understand me. I need you to validate my reality. And the more you explain, the more power you give away. Silence is often misunderstood. People think silence means weakness, avoidance, or fear. But psychologically, silence can be strength. Silence says, I know who I am. I do not need to convince you. I am not here to manage your discomfort. You do not owe everyone your story. You do not owe everyone clarity. You do not owe everyone access. Being misunderstood is uncomfortable, but losing yourself is worse. Here is the truth most people avoid. Some people do not misunderstand you by accident. They misunderstand you because it gives them control. As long as you keep explaining, they stay in power. When you stop explaining, the dynamic changes. Some people become uncomfortable. Some become angry. Some walk away. That is not loss. That is information. Freedom does not begin when everyone understands you. Freedom begins when you decide that understanding is not required for your existence. When you stop defending your boundaries, when you stop justifying your emotions, when you stop narrating your life for approval, when you become quiet, not from fear, but from certainty. So ask yourself this: what are you tired of explaining? Your choices, your distance, your healing, your silence. You do not need permission to exist. And the moment you stop asking for it, something inside you finally rests.